Super T Sigma. And for anybody that's asking for real, it's Torian. Me. The role of the programmer is like a person who's coding a computer. They put in access codes. They set up the hardware. They update, write, and rewrite the software. They're responsible for any newer versions that come out and the total synthesis of all new products stemming from that original mainframe motherboard. Notice how it's called a motherboard. It's never called a fatherboard. Have you ever heard of a fatherboard? There's no such thing as a fatherboard. There can never be a fatherboard because the man is not the earth. The woman is the earth. The man is the tree of the earth. The woman doesn't produce the seed. She houses the seed. She's the environment, the motherboard. So a programmer changes and influences the motherboard because he's the father. He's the one who holds the keys. He's the key maker. He's the key holder. He's the one that goes in and out of all the doors. He installs all of the doors, the triggers. He's the one that'll show you all around the Father's house of many mansions. He's the one that gets you in and out of the doors. The spirit of the Father. Do we mean that it has to be a man who does it? No. We're not being 3D with you when we say this. The Father simply being the creative principle, the giving principle, whereas the woman is the receiving principle. Masculine and feminine, push and pull, give and receive. The programmer is the ultimate giver. What the programmer does is, truthfully, a true programmer starts their programming when the subjects are in utero, talking to the belly. Hey, how you doing in there, little man? Oh, daddy loves you. How you doing? How you doing? Can't wait to see you when you come on the other side. Programming. Doubtless other programmings go on. If you understand that to be programming, then you understand an argument and a screaming match between the mama and the baby daddy being programming too. Imagine hearing your folks arguing while you're underwater and one of the tanks is your mama. You know how things sound underwater. You see how fast them fish scatter back when you used to tap that glass as a kid? Them fish used to dart off. And then when you put your ear to the glass, you see. It's an argument multiplied by 1,000,000 because it's going right into the thick conduit of water, concentrated and compacted. So to know this is to understand that programming starts in utero. Programming starts in every Genesis 1:1 with nothing but darkness and water. Darkness and water. It says that the earth was without form and void. It never said that there wasn't an earth. That part. But the earth just simply did not have form. You have the material. You are the material. Whoever's listening to this, you are the material. You have enough. You are what it takes. You're more than what's required. You're blessed and gifted with more than what's required to do whatever you want to do, to go wherever you want to go, to be whoever you need to be. You have it. You have it. You're full of the raw material. It's just dark and you're underwater. Give me a thumbs down when I'm lying. We're just waiting for certain things to be formed. We have the material. We have the gifts, right? Everybody's good at something. So that means you have what it takes. Everybody's born, so you have what it takes. Everyone who exists. That means you have what it takes. It's just a matter of forming it. And you can't form it if you're in it. You say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, it makes sense. It says the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. His Spirit hovered over the face of the deep. His mind wasn't underwater. He didn't try to change things underwater. He didn't go down, oh man, I need to go down to Atlantis if I want to really be able to. No, he didn't go under. He didn't go under. He thought above and stayed above. He hovered over what? What we tend to drown in when situations come. Situations come, floods and darkness. Being out to sea, no boat, and it's dark. This is what Jesus was really trying to tell people with the whole walking on water thing. Just an hour after the witching hours have closed for the evening, right? Jesus came walking on the water at the fourth watch of the night. That's 4 a.m. That's 1 hour after 3 a.m. He gave every witch a chance to get to bed. He gave every witch a chance to snuff out their black candles, hold on to their lovers, and drift off with a smile. Now he comes walking on the water in roughly the same area where the pigs from Gadara had drowned. That part. So they said, is he a ghost? They thought he was one of the demons legion that came out of the pigs from the men who had legion in them. They thought Jesus was one of legion. Like, oh, we told y'all something was going to come back. What goes down must come up. No, what goes up must come down, my friend. What goes up must come down. So he had to hover. And you have to hover. It's how do you do that? How do you think outside of the storm of your situation? Well, understand that you're not drowning. The circumstances designed to drown you. On the books, you might be drowned. Your name might be drowned. Your fame might be drowned. It might be totally submerged in darkness. But in that darkness, you can still hover above every single wave that rages. You still have that. You still can think beyond it. It's just a choice. It's just a choice. You make a decision. You decide. That's the slicing. A decision versus an incision. You got to do more than one slice. You got to divide something. You got to weigh the options. This is how a decision is made. A lot of people like to make decisions with one side, one piece of the information. No, you got to hear the pros and cons. You do. You got to hear the pros and cons. Because not for nothing, con starts the word conscience and conscious. That con comes in there first. Because you got to see both sides of it. So understanding that, the programmer goes on to mold that and to meld that. They know that it's already there. They know that the person is already a pre-angel, a deity, a god, a goddess. They already know what you are. And all of the keys are scattered in gematria, across the zodiac, and a lot of other different occult sciences. These are where the keys are left. But you still get people that, I don't want to know all of that. I don't want to tarot. I don't know about all of that in the cards and all. Ain't that witchcraft? Witchcraft you talking about? If it's the one where y'all sing Jesus once a week and you're not reading even your own Bible, you're not going to have a one up on these witches out here that already read the Bible, yours and theirs. That part. Because God is going to reward the one who uses power well, because God is power. You're not going to be talking about being around the power and being happy that the power exists and hoping that one day the power will call on you. No, you have to use the power. If you don't flip the light switch on, it ain't going to happen. This is why they had that thing for the seniors back in the day called the clapper. Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper. And then the lady, y'all remember that? Anybody that's over 30 something, I guess. It was a clapping, and the clapping of the hands in this instance doesn't mean to applaud you. It means to get your attention, like, hey, you know what I mean? How you see how the people be clapping now in hood talk? I wish I could just put the phone down and show you, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You be on the back of your hand like, listen, I tried to tell you. You ever see people do that? There's a reason why that came in under this new eon. There's a reason why that form of language became a true physical expression and accepted in many places. Because the clapping this time is to get your attention, to wake you up to something. This isn't the applauding crowd. No, this is a clap that's designed to wake you up, to snap you out of a daze, that you don't have to drown in your Genesis 1:1. It's also known as shadow work. Because, oh boy, some of those thoughts that we, when people cut us off in traffic, we give them just a piece of our mind. Because that's all you got before the light turns green. You're just giving them a piece of your mind. But to give them your whole mind, oh my goodness. Now we're going back to those waves. And what did God say after saying, let there be light? Which is to say, let there be knowledge. Let's know about this darkness and this water that we're hovering on. Let's allow knowledge to be born. Let's allow wisdom to be made known in regards to this darkness that is raging, that is formless, that I'm hovering over. That part. And what he began to do, again, this is the role of the programmer. You're a God, right? We in God school right now. God school, yeah, we're in God school right now. He in the next verse, he said, let the waters separate from the waters and be gathered together in one place. So what? The firmament may be made known, so that there will be a separation between above and below. And then there's another separation. Waters gathered together in one place so that what? Land may appear. Waters had to be divided in order for what? There be a space between heaven and earth and a space between water and land. Right. But waters have to separate. What does waters also represent? Thoughts, emotions. You got to separate the fear from the facts. Those waters have to be divided and gathered together in one place so that what? You're no longer drowning, so that land can appear, so that what? You find something that is tangible. That's what the land represents. Tangibility also represents the first baptism, but it represents the manifestation, the making concrete of things. I want to say concretization, but it just feels like a word too big to really say it. I don't think I could, loquaciously communicate that at the second. But to make things more tangible, to make things solid, waters are gonna have to divide. Right? The waters to the left might be saying, I'm scared. The waters to the left might be saying, I'm prepared. You got to separate those waters so that you can get some what? So that land may appear. So that you can find grounding. It's hard to be grounded when you don't want to sift through the information. When you don't want to what? Come to a decision. It's hard to be grounded because you can't make a decision without enough information. There's a certain amount of information capacity that once had, the body is triggered into action. Until then, it is governed by fear. You could call it not having enough time all you want. But no, it's just good old-fashioned fear. Straight up. It is okay. Because it's scary. I get scared every time I came up. I get scared every time I get on the mic. It's scary. It's scary to say that you're the best and you only got 430 something followers, and to stick your chest out to be like, I'm him, I'm the one. Yeah, that's scary. But what's scarier is me not finding out whether or not I'm gonna get a couple amens because I ain't never tried it myself. That's even scarier. It's even scarier for me not to even try. I was sharing that with another one of us that's on the track for inspiring countless thousands. The fear is good. That's the fuel. The only mess up is when the fear leads to non-action, to inactivity. Look, even in situations like that, not jumping into a fight that's not that is none of your business. It takes an amount of fear to mind your own business. You got to be a little bit scared. Like, I don't know what's going on over there, and I don't want to know. I don't even want to be found asking about what's going on over there. A certain amount of fear, knowing how to use it. So these things and many more go into the aspects of what a programmer is. So I invite all of you who like to read, who still know how to read, and to just look, even if you don't know how to read, you can just pull up the audio book and look at that first chapter of Genesis. Just look at however long it goes until it gets to man. I don't know if that's like chapter 3 or 2, wherever it gets to where he does the Sabbath. Just study that whole creation and understand that is you in every moment. That is you in every moment. Genesis in the beginning was what? The heavens and the earth were made. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, power is responsible for creating what? The heaved up place. What is it? Something inside of you. The power of God is responsible for that heaved up intangibility to become what? Earth. To become made concrete, made manifest. Man, Super T Sigma programming. Stay illuminated and always live in love.